Do it by the mechanism in here pulling or ranging for one of these strings, or four of these strings, but the right ones in the right order, to use a famous phrase from Morecambe and Wise, to activate hammers that strike the bells. We'll see all this when we get up there, but you want to know how it's working here. This is all about avoiding vibration, because if you've got big bells actually swinging backwards and forwards, you're going to have a lot of vibration. And given the structural, question mark over the tower, you don't want to create lots of vibration that is then going to perhaps lead to serious problems. So this is all to do to make it vibration free. So all that is happening is that a hammer, big heavy hammer, we'll see them when we get there, will be pulled up by this string to about only about a centimetre from the bell, and it will drop back onto the bell and make a hell of a noise, which we'll hear in a minute. But it's only at a quarter of an hour. It's the Westminster chime. The mechanism will all start when there's a paddle in here. It's all to do with momentum. That thing there will start to revolve. You can see the one on the other side, but that won't be working because that's the hour bell, and we're not on an hour. And that will start up any moment now. Now, you never know how accurate the clock is. I mean, it's dead on, I think, now, quarter past, but it could be a minute or so fast or slow. Well, not fast, or it would already have gone. But, and you can see the wire for the... Here we go. And you see the other end of that mechanism when we get there. But it's all about avoiding vibration, because we just can't hit it. Now, the history of this clock has only been here since 1883 or 4 or something like that. And it was donated by a regiment of the British Army, a Wiltshire regiment of the British Army, as a commemoration to colleagues lost in the Peninsular Wars. It replaced the clock that is on the nave floor, which is well worth a look, although you wouldn't think it was a clock unless you were told. Is the oldest working clock in the world, the oldest mechanical working clock in the world. That originally stood in a separate bell tower. Now, cathedrals don't, in English cathedrals, you don't normally have separate bell towers, like Italians have them all the time and the Spanish do, but not in England. But we did have one here. Chichester is the only cathedral now that has got an external bell tower. We had a beautiful one. It's a tragedy that it was demolished, but it was very badly damaged in the English Civil War. There was a battle within the close between the Cavaliers and the Roundheads. One side was inside the bell tower, the other wasn't. I don't remember which way around it was, but they wanted to, of course, reverse that situation, and they did a lot of damage to the bell tower. It was never properly repaired. It was used a bit after that, but it was never properly repaired, and they gave up trying in 1790 and demolished it completely. And it was very tall. When we go out on the balcony at the top of the tower, it would have been up to the height that we will be at, just, or maybe just a few feet lower. But it was a very tall one and a very unusual design, so it's a real tragedy that it was lost. But, there's plenty of good pictures of it from old, but nothing. So anyway, that clock would be, not this one, the one that is on the floor of the nave was put in there in 1380 something, I think, and was moved here when that tower was demolished, 1790. Then, after a few years, it was decided that it wasn't really man enough for this big space, so they stuck it over as a pile of scrap metal in the corner, and this was installed. And it was only after somebody, for some reason, was up here who knew a bit about old clocks and sort of said, that's a map of an international importance, that pile of scrap metal over in the corner. For Christ's sake, do something about it. It should be restored and made to work, because that's major horological history. So they did it, and now it's on the... But it's very simple, but it doesn't tell you the time. It's a clock, it doesn't tell you the time. All it does is strike the hour. And it doesn't even do that. It can do that, it works, but it's a very nasty bell. It makes a very harsh sound, so they don't have it on other than for a demonstration at 11 o'clock every weekday morning. Other than that, you'll never hear it.
So that's the clock where we met, right?
Yeah. The one where we met, yes. It's just, there's a couple of great big stone weights working the mechanism. There's a thing twisting around, which is
frozen, frozen at the moment, so it's not actually doing anything.
Oh, wasn't it? They got it off.
I don't know. Well, when we go back down, we'll have a look.
We'll have a look when we go back down. I mean, they do sometimes turn it off for services. Although it doesn't strike anyway, it doesn't make any difference to anything.
No, it's just...
Anyway, back to